My name is Daniel Johnson, and you're locked into 87.co.
So, talk to me about how you've been able to get your faith and be able to portray that within your work.
I think it all started from the beginning. It it was a thing where my prayers started rhyming, and so I was praying for stress relief. I was praying for a way out of that dark situation, and they were rhyming. And so eventually, I just put those prayers to paper, and I started coming with the first rhymes of like my poetry. So it was
Oh,
quite good.
nice.
It was quite amazing.
Is that where the hashtag Daniel Writes came from? Or was that after?
Do you know what? The hashtag came just before, I believe. During this period, I wasn't just praying, I was also on Twitter. And I was writing things, not like suicidal things or anything dark, but it was just like bursts of inspirations, things overly ambitious. And I was writing, I was thinking I could ever come up with so many hashtags where people can see my work, like Daniel's notes or D's notes, but then I realized it might have a negative connotation because of D's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
So I thought Daniel writes, Daniel's writing, so that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Oh, nice, clever, man. I
Thank
saw
you.
some what's it called? You got like quite a bit. It got a bit of buzz. I'm not gonna lie. I think the video's got a bit of buzz. So that means it works. From that point onwards, though, what happened next?
Um, what else happened? I just started taking it to uni more. So 2016, second year of college ended, went to uni October, and I had so many pieces, but I didn't know what to do with them. Luckily, I had a friend that I knew before at the uni I go to now, and so she just helped me find my path. Like she was taking me to open mic nights through different societies and all of that, just helping me out. So shout out to her, shout out Sammy. Yeah.
So, what inspires you?
Oh, okay. If I can try and just, pack that down into one sentence. Um, life, life, Jesus.
Life inspires you.
Yeah.
Like, how does life inspire you?
Okay, so in terms of seeing someone in a broken stage and knowing that you can achieve more, you can get somewhere greater, and then just to back that up by faith, I know that, okay, if I've grown up in a Christian background for all my life now, been in church for pretty much all my life. So something that I've been introduced to so early, I realized why not try it out? So that and just seeing things like I am with you in your darkest moments,
Yeah.
or this, that, and the other. It's just like, yo, when I feel low, how come there's always a word for like every
Those
situation I
moments,
go
yeah,
through?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So it's that inspires me to keep me going, knowing that I'm not alone, knowing that it's not the end. Yeah.
Oh, I hear that, man. It's deep. I hear that. I hear
Thank
that.
you.
So, let's go into your Christian background because, like, I'm a Christian myself, and
Okay.
like, what I've seen is it's hard for us to convey our Christianity without sounding too holy. But you found a way to do it to a degree, or you're definitely on the way to being able to find it out. And then I've also seen like there's only a few artists in the UK anyway, like a Governor B, for example, that have found a way to do that. How have you been able to?
If I'm honest, I can only say it's God. That's what everyone would say, but that's just me being honest. Because I'm not the most perfect person.
Yeah.
But the one thing I've learned is to not let condemnation or not let your darkest moments or your shame overpower you. So I try and speak boldly through no matter what the situation is. And so that's literally my thoughts. So if I'm thinking a type of way that seems a bit uncensored or it seems a bit, this is the way I think things should be, it's because I'm passionate about that, but I'm not going to try and reword it so it caters to everyone's
Everybody's,
needs.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm still speaking the truth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear that. I hear that. That's honest and that's integrity. Do you know what I mean? It's the ability to produce your work for yourself. And then if people enjoy it, they enjoy it, but you're doing it for you because you
Yeah,
enjoy it and it's a passion.
yeah.
So this first show, how have you, what was it and how did it go?
Okay.
And then as a follow-up to those two questions, how have you grown as a performer since?
Okay, so my first show, I would say outside of uni, because inside of uni is my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So outside of university, it was okay. Young people insight. Shout out them as well. I'm not sure if you know about Emmanuel Speaks, but he used to go to my uni,
Okay.
and he put me on. He's an amazing spoken word artist,
Yeah.
amazing poet, and he put me on with them. He saw a tweet on Twitter, told me to just follow up with it, try and get involved with that, and it was amazing. I went down with my friend called Joe. Swish plays the keys. He's
I think I've
amazing.
seen Switch plays on your Insta, not
Yes.
Insta, on your Twitter. So I
Yes.
think I think I've seen a
He's
bit of his
amazing.
stuff. He's got a SoundCloud, hasn't he?
He's got a YouTube.
I need to go check out his YouTube actually.
should.
I need to check out his YouTube.
Should. He's amazing. So I went down with him. In fact, and I went down with one of my other friends who raps. His name's Original Always. Shouting out everyone. But I went
Is he
down,
the SoundCloud guy?
Yeah,
He's the person I clocked. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard some of his stuff. It was like raw.
He's a SoundCloud guy. So went down with these lot. And it was amazing. Did a piece called iRobot. Did a piece called Stats and Maths as well, which is on Twitter. So, and it was amazing. Like I practiced, because I didn't want to let anyone down on my first time out, but I didn't want to let myself down.
I think
So,
that's probably the more important one, isn't it? Like your personal self. Like
Yeah.
so.
So I just got up, practiced. I decided to. I think it's easy to learn words and to rehearse it and everything. So I gave myself 2 weeks, start to familiarize yourself with a piece, and yes. So leaving it to a week before the show, yeah, it was perfect. And then I just started to express emotions through my piece and all of that. So when I got there, it was amazing. The crowd was amazing. The people were amazing. The host, the founder of the company, Shaniqua, she was amazing. Welcomed me back this year. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
nice.
it's been amazing. And then ever since, between then and now, I've just been going through a few mistakes. I've highlighted a few mistakes in my performances, where to improve. But hey, you can never be perfect as long as you just keep on practicing and trying.
That's the key. Yeah. So since then, how have you grown as a performer?
Since then, as a performer, I've learnt to take things more seriously, but also be comfortable. Not to practice too much to the point where it seems robotic,
Yeah.
but to know what you're doing and be comfortable, but express yourself truly. I've listened to a lot of poets and the way they've expressed their emotions through their words to the point where it doesn't even just feel like words. It feels like you're seeing a movie.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to learn how to practice that, and along the time, I feel like I'm getting better at that.
That's brilliant, man. That's what you want. That's the process of growing, learning. So you're not just a poet, though, are you? I remember at the front room you did a bit of singing. So where did that sort of come into
Okay.
your elements, I guess?
So not many people know I like to sing. And I always try and hide it just because I may not be the best singer. I know I'm not anywhere near there, but it's something I'm trying to perfect because I love music. Everyone knows that I love music, so people will see me about with headphones, and I love singing. But it's one of those ones where ever since I've been secondary school, maybe, I've just learned to try and develop that.
Yeah.
And because at uni now, fellowships, church-orientated environments, just listening to so much songs with so much praises and all of that, it overtakes and you just want to.
Yeah, I know. You always want to
everything
sing it. Yeah.
So, that's what I'm trying to learn how to perfect and practice.
Cool. All right, cool. There's a poem I want to ask you about, and then we're gonna go into the plans for this year. So,
Okay.
you wrote a poem. I don't know if it was like, I don't remember the exact time, but it was called 200 Shades of Black.
Okay.
And it was for me. It was like I heard. I was like, raw. It was one of those things I've heard. I was like, I genuinely sat back and listened to it 2 or 3 times over.
Thank you.
What inspired that? Because that was I say it was one of the more powerful stuff I listened to. So
Okay, so I'm gonna take this back to 2016 October. That's when I wrote it. It was the first piece I wrote at uni. I remember getting there. 5 days later, I was in the library for like 2 hours writing, and I was listening to music, and I was just listening to how music that talks about liberation, and I was just thinking, oh, but I can see there's so many hashtags, Eric Garner, so many hashtags, Rodney King, just throwing at people, comparing to people who are dying now. It was just like, why are so many people dying in this day and age? Why are so many people in America, in the UK, going through all of this? And if you looked at it, there was one common factor, their skin color. And it was just like, but why? After a while, in the piece, it was like, I don't even like to focus on this topic, but when are they going to stop it? Because I don't like to focus on topics like this, but it was a question that I was asking God, but myself as well. Like, when are they going to stop it? How come this is happening? And yeah, that's what inspired it.
No, I hear that. And I think that around that time, we'd had quite a few movies as well that highlighted that. I've forgotten. They don't come to mind at this point. But there've been quite a few movies. There've been quite a few situations. Obama was still president at that point.
Yeah,
so stuff was going on in the background. So I see where the inspiration came from. But I think it's like one of those things where people ranted about it. Do you see what I mean? But like, no one's ever put it in the creative form like that. So we appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
I'm only trying.
So 2018. What's the setup for this year? What are you looking to achieve?
Okay, so generally, I've planned to do something creative each month, as in something, whether big or small, but different types of production-wise, maybe through audio, through visual, or just through writing content, so like WordPress. And so what I'm trying to do is build myself up in terms of audio now, because I've got a lot of pieces, thank God. I've got a lot of pieces, but I want to share them now. And I feel like, for me, I can get a few recorded in terms of visual, video recorded, but I also want to create sounds. I also love music, so I'm trying to implement a music side to it. I'm trying to, just go down that lane. And I feel like that hopefully very soon I can do that.
So if this year was to end tomorrow, what would you have wanted to achieve?
Oh, this year was to end tomorrow. I would have. That's a hard question.
Hey.
If this year was to end tomorrow, I would have wanted, if I'm honest, in terms of poetry-wise, I wanted to achieve just connecting with people more, showing people through my poetry that I'm trying to be real. Not just, it's not always about the content for me. It's there are subliminal message behind some of it is how to be real, like just transparent. Like I may be of faith, I may be Christian, and I may be a poet, but I'm not trying to step outside the lines, definitely not. But I'm just trying to be transparent. I feel like a lot of people aren't transparent with the way they feel, with the way they perfect their craft. So that's what I'm trying to do for the sounds. And if this year was to end tomorrow, hopefully, like I say, I would have done that successfully.
It's crazy fat. I wonder who this is coming up. Fourth but not least, the backbone of the wig out freestyle. Crazy hardcore, no sellout. Speaking upon